I go. Ha, ha, ha. I talk chips and sixes, I flip an enemy bird. Suckers that fake the flavor, get in like nerds. Cause I make the track react with a vengeance. Scooping up my bitches and suckers with vengeance. While I hip-hop flip shot, I grab the mic and you shoulder. Just tap that scap, rap instigate what I call it. Cause when I got the mic, I incite fight. That's right, and it with a pimp limp. Sip and get hemmed up, you provoke choke. Like it's toast, cause stay low. The J-A-M slams, I told you like dancing with the K-I-D and the B-L-A-Y. And better believe I still traction. I'm proud to be black and YBTV be matching. The dope I'm distraction with the voodoo ding dang. The boogie, the bing bang. I said chick flips with the hip-hop stick slang. I got it cause I rock the big dookie fat knot. I hit the boots from the hook and double dreadlocks.
Did the allegations affect you career-wise?
Yeah. Guilty by association. Guess that's what they call it, right? They build you up. And then once you get there, they're so quick to tear you down.
Janet Jackson, I'm making this commentary because of your guilty by association comment on your documentary as it relates to Michael Jackson's the allegations against him of child misconduct and shit and all that bullshit, some tacit pedophilia and shit out, if not outright. And I'm just making that, maybe I'm seeing it out of context and shit. I've not seen the documentary. I'm not gonna watch Lifetime and I'm not gonna subject myself to that and shit, but just the fact that they have that soundbite, that you've given the mainstream media such a soundbite when they stay fucking with your brother, even after he's been dead for many years now. Even after he's been dead, no, it's just, it pisses me off. Alright? You'll never hear this, Miss Jackson, I know this. So, even though you're never gonna hear this, I'm gonna tell you a story. And the story is, I was working in a certain industry, and when your brother died, the day your brother died, right, I was doing some work at my job, and my Cuban boss and his Mexican best friend, they called me up to come back to the office, like it was an emergency. So I went to the office to see what they wanted and shit, right, because it was weird. Well, not just, the Cuban guy was my boss, So I went back to see what the fuck's going on, right? And when I got to the office, him and his cohort were laughing gregariously as they told me that Michael Jackson had died of a drug overdose. Okay? That's what they say. And that was before they even said what he died from and shit. These two assholes just wanted to see my face, right? When they told me that Michael Jackson was dead, right? Not racist, right? And then they peppered, it made it even worse and shit. They said, hey, don't cry, but Michael Jackson died, I thought it was shitty. And, in that instant, I'm going to tell you, my respect for your brother, even though, like, did some weird shit in the, last days or whatever, my respect for your brother goes without saying and shit, alright? Goes without saying. I love the musician he was a one of a kind. But in that instant, when they told me that shit, I felt like coming into the office with both of them and closing the door behind myself and locking it and beating the shit out of both of them and shit. In the handicap, whatever you would call it, a handicap 2-on-1. And I knew I would have beat the shit out of them to death. Alright? Because they were so fucking racist. Those Latin homies were so fucking racist, man. One Cuban dude, one motherfucking Mexican dude. Telling me Michael Jackson died and not to cry and shit, And they were laughing and shit. They were doing like the Dr. Evil thing. And I thought, and I think back on that shit sometimes, I'm like, man, that place where I was working was so fucking racist and shit. Well, I guess it's not important. You're never going to hear this, but, just hearing that soundbite of you saying that annoys the fuck out of me and shit. Your first husband, one you never talk about, that was a Latin guy, okay, doing all that shit to you. That wasn't no fucking black guy doing that shit to your ass, okay? That wasn't no fucking black guy, alright? But you got all the smoke from Michael, your own fucking brother and shit, okay? Even that little soundbite, taken out of context probably, who cares? You for years, you've been holding it down and shit, not letting nobody really drag you and shit. Some of the shit you did drag, it was a comedy of errors, like the the whole titty thing, and you know the thing where you were laying up nude, and somebody was in the bushes with a camera and got a picture of you. Yeah, I saw that shit. You know, I'm not impressed. You know, but I remember in the fucking 90s, man, you were a fucking princess, man. You were royalty. You and Michael were royalty and shit on a par with each other, but Michael would always eclipse you. Alright, he would always eclipse you. Well, now, you are a very good, well-produced artist and shit. You made some shit. I listen to your music. I'll still listen to your music after I get through dragging you right now. I'm still gonna listen to your music, okay? Because I like good music and shit. You're well-produced. You know, well-produced. I don't know if you chose the guys you chose to work with personally or somebody chose it for you. I would say the former shit, you know, or no, I would say the latter. But I just want to say, like, hey, brothers never did shit to you. They try to protect you and shit, okay? And I would say if you're gonna be mad at somebody, you'd probably be mad at like the outsiders, you know, the mainstream media and those people, and probably your own fucking father and shit. Because I looked you up on Wikipedia and it says that you resided in the family home with your first husband, the guy you never talked about, who whooped your ass and abused you and was on coke and high as fuck and shit. And that was a Latin guy, okay? That was a Latin guy. That wasn't no black guy doing that shit to you, but I guess you should be mad. Your dad let him live in the house. If he was living in my shit and he was whooping your ass and you was my daughter, that's a wrap for him. He gonna be the Jimmy Hoffa deal. He gonna be like just like Jimmy Hoffa. We ain't nobody gonna know where he is. Period. Metaphorically speaking, you two. Man, I think that's like fucked up, man. When you're a black dude, man, we have no fucking friends. In our communities, we're a second-class citizen. And the only thing we're lauded for is, you know, the bedroom and shit. You know, really, think about it. Our athletic prowess and sexual prowess and shit. The powers that we have in the bed. You know, from you misandrists and the outside racists and shit. You talk a lot of shit. You know, you want to make a fucking soundbite, Janet, okay? I want to hear a soundbite about Justin Timberlake ripping your shit open on Super Bowl, and how a motherfucker gonna rip your titty out, gonna rip your little, you know, that little flabby titty you had. How's he gonna rip that shit out and he don't get in trouble? The white dude don't get in no trouble for ripping your clothes open and shit, but you get in trouble, and then you take it on the chin for like, like decade now? You know, for a long fucking time till now? And you just got lucky because Me Too popped up and put old boy on blast, Let's Move This, whose name ain't never gonna be in your mouth, is it? Because you know where your bread is buttered, okay? You know where your bread is buttered. You ain't got shit to say about Les Moonves, who has been, they know now that he went out of his way to destroy your career, to kill you in degrees. You know, he wanted you, they said that you didn't grovel after the Super Bowl fiasco and shit. That he wanted you to grovel. I like to think that he was really mad because he wanted to sleep with you and he knew he didn't have a chance in hell and shit some kind of way. That he was going to get his hands on you. But he would have liked to got his hands on you. And if he could have got his fucking hands on you, you would be a different story today, wouldn't it? Right, you know? Yeah, his fucking wife drugged you and shit. But you don't have no smoke for them motherfuckers. You don't have no smoke for Justin Timberlake, Les Moonves, or his motherfucking wife, who was in the business of dragging black men on her crappy little show with her plastic face. Man, Janet. Oh, fuck, man. And I don't give a fuck if somebody mad at me for making this shit. I said, fuck Janet Jackson if she say crap like this. Fuck you, Janet Jackson. You're a shitty actress. Alright? Even when I watched on Good Times, I didn't know they were making you act like that, or I didn't know they were taping down your flabby little water balloon titties. I didn't know they were taping those down and shit. But I did wonder if, you know, when I watched the shit when I was a kid, because I'm Generation X, when I saw you on there, and you're Generation X too, baby, when I saw you on that shit, I thought your character was supposed to be a special needs character. That's why you talked like that, acted like that, but everybody else around you acted normal and shit. But you were talking like a little baby. You know, like an assault victim. Like, you know, that's one of the symptoms of, you can tell some female been, you know, assaulted when they do the infantilize themselves, or they do the little kid voice, and, you know, you need to run far away when you hear that, brothers listening. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you was a special need character on that. Then I saw you in the Tyler Perry shit. You was still talking the same way. Like that breathless talking and shit. It's like a labored talking. I'm like, do you really fucking talk like that? Yes, you do. Now, I know, I think you was, part of me is think like you don't even talk like that. You just be trying to sound as close to Michael as humanly possible and shit. And all things. But you're an icon. You're a musical legend and icon. I respect that and shit, but I don't respect your comments about your brother. He was fucked. If he, nobody was looking out for his ass and shit, okay? That's why he ended up fucked up. Like, nobody was looking out for him. Nobody was watching out for him. Even that shit with the fucking, having all them goddamn kids over and all that shit. Nobody was watching out. Michael Jackson was proven innocent. And the motherfuckers the main dude that accused him committed suicide. Why don't you make a soundbite about that? Or why don't you tell us how you feel about Les Moonves ruining your career and putting you in a position where you had to slum it in Tyler Perry movies? Huh? You got some smoke for that shit? Why don't you talk about that? Huh? You're a shitty actress. You never get an Oscar. I've never seen Poetic Justice. I've never seen that. I saw they put you on that, they had a show for Fame, like the movie Fame, if anybody, look that up. I know I'm doing a deep cut here for some of you youngsters, but they had a movie called Fame. It was a badass little movie about a performing arts school. They made a TV show, it was real shitty, the cheap TV show, and Janet Jackson was on there, and they advertised Janet Jackson. They had her like all duded up with a jerry curl, like she was sitting on a motorcycle or something, and then when you seen her on the fucking show, she was doing the same shitty acting like she did on Good Times. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I was like, fuck this shit. I think Nia Long premiered at the same goddamn time. She was way more sexier, unfortunately for you. Yeah, I seen you on there. I remember you was on Different Strokes and shit. I was laughing my ass off. I thought you was fine as hell on there. And they had that one episode you and your character and Ty Bridges' character were gonna have sex, and then you guys decided not to do it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the next day after we watched that shit, I was a little kid. The next day after we watched that, me and the boys was sitting up talking about how we would kick Willis' ass if he told us that he had an opportunity to have sex with you, and he said fuck it because you guys, you're not ready and shit. We would have been like, man, we would have said a certain slur to him and punched him out. At the time we didn't know Willis was getting molested on the show. Nobody knew Willis was getting molested by a same-sex person that was taking advantage of him. Luckily for him, Dana Plato was doing counter-programming, sleep with him too and shit. So, shout out to Todd there. Sorry, bro. Maybe coming for his wig too. Janet Jackson, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for giving mainstream media who ruined your brother. They ruined your brother for giving them a soundbite like that, okay? You ought to be ashamed of yourself and shit. They want to get rid of your legacy. You, your brother, all your other brothers, all your family members, your whole fucking family members. And they want you motherfuckers to be an oddity on par with the Addams family. Alright? Fuck you.